Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is News at 12. In the local scene, the provincial government of Albay has extended support to the Bureau of Local Government Finance during its enhanced local assessments manual training in Legazpi City. Through the provincial treasurers and assessors' offices, the province provided transportation assistance for the event. Around 80 treasurers and assessors joined the training, along with BLGF officials from the central and regional offices. Governor Noel Rizal also presented tokens of appreciation to the participants during the dinner hosted in partnership with the local treasurers and assessors groups. Officials said the partnership underscores Albay's commitment to strengthening local fiscal management and governance. In other story, the provincial government of Albay is boosting sustainable agriculture through the distribution of free-range chickens to local farmers. The initiative, led by the Albay Provincial Agricultural Office in partnership with the Department of Agriculture, supports the province's organic agriculture program. It is aimed to help farmers shift to more organic and eco-friendly practices while providing additional livelihood opportunities. Officials said the program is part of Albay's continuing push for a greener and more sustainable future for both farmers and the community. In other news, the Albay Provincial Agricultural Office has organized a federation of taro growers and processors to boost the province's taro industry. The new federation aims to bring together individual farmers and processors to promote sustainable production and better market access. Officials said the initiative will help open more enterprise opportunities and improve coordination across the supply chain. Through this unified effort, Albay hopes to make its taro industry stronger, more profitable, and more sustainable for local farmers. In the national scene, Malacanang has yet to provide a clear explanation for the removal of Bureau of Internal Revenue Commissioner Romeo Lumagi Jr., who was replaced earlier this month without a formal announcement. Communications Undersecretary Claire Castro said on Monday that all presidential appointees serve at the pleasure of the president, calling the decision a matter of presidential prerogative. When pressed on whether President Marcos Jr. was unhappy with Lumagi's performance, Castro said she could not provide any specific reason, but suggested that a change in leadership may have been seen as necessary to improve the agency's overall output. The palace confirmed that lawyer Charlito Martin Mendoza has taken over as the new BIR commissioner. In a previous statement, Lumagi said he is leaving the Bureau in a much better state than it was 3 years ago, though he did not address why he was removed from his post. In other story, the Independent Commission for Infrastructure (ICI) has confirmed that former Department of Public Works and Highways Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo has formally applied to become a state witness. This announcement came on Monday, November 17, after Bernardo submitted his second supplemental affidavit, an affidavit identical to the one he read before the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee last Friday, November 14. According to ICI Executive Director Attorney Brian Keith Saka, Bernardo's application falls under the Witness Protection Program or Republic Act 6981. Under this law, applicants are strictly prohibited from disclosing any information related to their request for protection. Because of this confidentiality requirement, Bernardo can no longer reveal details connected to his application, nor can the Commission compel him to appear. Bernardo had been scheduled to attend the ICI hearing as a resource person, but instead sent a letter explaining that he could not be present due to the restrictions of the Witness Protection Program. Osaka stated that the Commission respects the law and will abide by its limitations. Although the ICI has not reviewed Bernardo's new affidavit, it plans to study it closely once received. The Commission will also consider whether to invite other individuals who Bernardo previously mentioned during the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing. In other news, the Catholic Church urged devotees to focus on true faith and devotion, not just the physical image celebrating the Nazareno festivities. The celebrations run from December 31 to January 9, including a Thanksgiving procession, barangay visitations, blessings of replicas, the traditional pabihis sa Puong Nazareno, and the venerational pahalik. The main Translacion procession will start at dawn on January 9 from Quirino Grandstand to Quiapo Church. Devotees are urged to use hand sanitizer, practice health safety, and avoid attending if unwell. Climbing on the andas is strictly prohibited, though it has been upgraded with 4 wheels, a steering wheel, protective enclosures, lighting, sound systems, CCTV, and ventilation, and will be guided from below by IHOS members for safety. The Translacion will follow its post-pandemic route, passing through Luneta, Plaza del Carmen, Plaza Miranda, and 7 bridges before reaching Quiapo Church. The Manila City government, led by Mayor Isko Moreno, is ready with security, traffic management, and a temporary ban on street vendors near Quiapo Church from January 7 to 9. Millions of devotees are expected, similar to the 8 million who attended last year. And in the news outside the country, tensions between Thailand and Cambodia remain high after a fresh cross-border shooting near Prey Chan village in Cambodia. The violence comes after a Thai soldier lost a foot to a landmine, with Thailand accusing Cambodia of planting new mines, which Phnom Penh denies. Thailand has suspended the July truce that had temporarily ended fighting. The Kuala Lumpur peace accords brokered by Malaysia, China, and the U.S. halted clashes in July that killed at least 48 and displaced around 300,000 people. Experts said the deal did not address the underlying territorial dispute, making the region vulnerable to renewed violence. The border dispute stretches back decades, focusing on areas mapped during Cambodia's colonial period, including the historic Preah Vihear Temple, a UNESCO World Heritage Site owned by Cambodia. Sporadic clashes have occurred before, but July's fighting marked a serious escalation. Analysts warn the conflict is spreading, fueled by rising nationalism in Cambodia and Thailand's upcoming elections. Lasting peace will require clear border demarcation and strong political leadership to de-escalate tensions and protect civilians. In other story, the Japanese tourism and retail shares dropped sharply after China advised its citizens to avoid traveling to Japan, following comments by Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi on Taiwan. Takaichi, seen as hawkish toward China, suggested Japan could intervene militarily if Taiwan, claimed by Beijing, were attacked. China is Japan's largest source of tourists, with nearly 7.5 million visiting in the first 9 months of 2025 and spending $3.8 billion in the third quarter. Shares in Shiseido, Takashimaya, Pan Pacific, and fast retailing Uniqlo fell between 6 to 11%. Takaichi made the remarks after meetings with Chinese and Taiwanese officials at the APEC summit, triggering strong diplomatic reactions. China summoned Japanese diplomats, warned students in Japan, and sent Coast Guard vessels near the disputed Senkaku Daihyu Islands. Experts warned the tensions could further hurt Japan's economy, already down 0.4% in third quarter, and risk escalating into a trade conflict affecting automakers and rare earth supplies. And finally, in the news outside the country, the Philippines has assumed 2026 chairmanship of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, placing Manila at the center of regional diplomacy amid rising geopolitical tensions and growing questions about the bloc's relevance. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. said they will focus on economic cooperation, regional stability, and peaceful resolution of disputes, including long-standing maritime issues in the South China Sea. Marcos appointed Foreign Secretary Teresa Lazaro as a special envoy on Myanmar, signaling the Philippines' intent to strengthen ASEAN's mediation role in ongoing political crisis. He also highlighted the use of artificial intelligence to support security, maritime monitoring, disaster response, and humanitarian assistance across the bloc's member states. Analysts said Marcos faces the challenge of balancing national interest with ASEAN's consensus-driven culture, particularly in advancing the long-delayed South China Sea Code of Conduct with China. Beyond maritime disputes, Manila hopes to boost ASEAN's credibility by mediating regional conflicts, including the Thai-Cambodia border tensions, and supporting Timor-Leste integration. Observers said the Philippines' leadership could help restore ASEAN relevance as a unified, forward-looking actor in a region facing intensifying great power rivalry. And that's all for the news at 12, November 19, 2025. We'll be back tomorrow for more news updates. Thanks to our news writer, LJ Lurejo and Naomi Ruth Hernandez. And on the technical side, Ted Bobis. And our Provincial Information Officer always, Imori Gonzalez. And under the supervision of our Governor, Noel E. Ruzal, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing.